Composing today's national anthem is Miranda Sexton, a junior from Wisconsin, majoring in biochemistry and music.
Oh, can you see by the dawn's early there at the twilight's last gleaming, who brought stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight? O'er the ramparts we watched,
Thank you. And very much.
Well, USA South returns to Buena Vista, Virginia. The Southern Virginia Knights playing host to the Tornadoes of visiting Brevard. Hello, everybody. You're sitting in the best seats in the house. Chris Fly alongside with Mark Duffin to bring you today's action. Mark, exciting game. Two good teams, middle of the season. What should we expect today?
Absolutely. We should expect an offensive showdown. There should be a lot of offense scored in this game. SVU, their last game last week, they finally unlocked some of their offensive potential. And Brevard, of course, had a great game, scoring many touchdowns there 2 weeks ago. So you definitely should expect a lot of offense coming into today's game.
We mentioned 2 weeks ago, Brevard, having not seen the season for a week, their game last week being postponed, of course, because of the weather delays from Hurricane Helene. And I know most people here of Southern Virginia have said, and will echo their sentiments. Our thoughts and prayers goes out to all people affected by that hurricane. And just look forward here, have some good football. Brevard 1-1 so far in the season, had a tough loss in the opening stanza to Hampton City Tigers in that one.
Yeah, absolutely. They struggled to get anything going, and that's when the next week they really unlocked it. It seems like they took those lessons that they struggled with in the first week and really unlocked their offense in the second week, and did a lot in the red zone coming in. SVU, they're 0-4 coming off their best game so far of the year, putting up 24 points last week. So looking to really keep up that momentum and strengthening their defense along with it.
We'll see what they can do here. Southern Virginia to kick off. Brevard. We'll start with the football, and away we go. Takes an awkward bounce. Luckily falls its way into the end zone for Brevard, and they'll start at their own 20.
Got a flag on the kickoff.
Take a look at this is here. Brevard, one of those teams in the USA South. Slow start so far this year in terms of the penalty flags. More than most. They've had 19 so far in the young season.
Wow. Yeah, that's definitely something, as even with the talent that you have on Brevard, that you don't want to see coming in.
Looks like it will be holding on the side of the Tornadoes. They'll back them up a little bit to start their opening drive. As Marcus, we take a look, their first look at the Brevard offense. Talk about their quarterback, Ethan Beamish.
Yeah, so Ethan Beamish last week had a really good game. He didn't move the ball down the field so much, but he had 4 touchdowns on the day. Really took advantage of those red zone opportunities. So we'll see if they can continue, especially with the drive so far back, that if he can just start off driving down the field, we'll see how that goes.
Man in motion, Beamish drops back. Right to the outside. Still on his way. Good game for Brevard in the opening play. So you talk about Beamish, he was an All-USA South selection last year. On his first year in Brevard, formerly playing at Limestone College. See what he has in store for here in his second year with the Tornadoes.
I mean, it's a great start from what we just said, is moving the chains, getting down the field already.
First down and 10. Strong side, right side for Brevard. Fullback in motion. Beamish hands it off, tries to run it up the middle. Solid game, close to the first down. Might have gotten another one. That was Jadian Deaton, senior transfer running back. He had a good game last week.
Absolutely. He had over 100 rushing yards on the game. Really was their workhorse getting down the field. They didn't rely too much on the passing game, but relied on him to get them down in the field and get them into the red zone.
Brevard so far this season with a balanced approach on offense. They'll have trips left. Deaton and Beamish in the backfield. Wide receiver screen, he's got space. Picks up another first down. 3 plays, just as many first downs for Brevard.
And they're really working the short game, the rushing game, and those short screens to the left. They're putting the pressure on SVU to get those tackles, to get up to their receivers, and just allowing their playmakers to make the difference here.
We talk about the Southern Virginia defense. They had kind of a defensive awakening last week.
Yeah, absolutely. They didn't keep the scoring down too much, but they caused a lot of turnovers last week. They had 3 interceptions and forced another fumble they didn't quite recover. So they have the opportunity to swing a game, but they really need to focus on stopping the drives like this and getting in the end zone.
Good stop by the Southern Virginia Knights. Pick up about 5 for Brevard. And it'll bring up the first second down of the outing. 12:54 left to go in the first quarter. Nothing is the score. And Brevard marching down the field. Beamish is under center. Scratch that. Back in a shotgun. Man beside him. 3 receivers to his right. Sends the man in motion. He's by himself back there. Beamish up the middle. He had a man. Couldn't connect on the pass, as he was looking for Reggie Taylor II.
And I'm not sure whether that was a miscommunication on the setup or if they were trying to confuse the SVU defense. But they had a good play set up, just right through the hands of the receiver.
Couldn't complete the pass. First third down of the afternoon. We'll see what the Tornadoes have in store here. Man in motion again. Beamish to pass. Has nothing there. Uses his legs. First down and pushed out of bounds.
And that's what you hate to see on a third down play, is just giving the quarterback enough room to make a play. And the play was broken down. There was no open receivers. He just didn't have a spy on the quarterback. Didn't allow him to get those extra yards.
Well, Beams for the first down run. Fresh set of downs for the Tornadoes. 1st and 10 on the Knight 28. Fakes to Deaton. Beamish pass. That one's broken up. Looks like Amari Gilchrist for Southern Virginia got a hand on it. Brings up second down.
And there you saw a really high pass. Not really sure if anyone could have really gotten a hand on that for either team.
Knights bring 3. Wide receiver screen on the left side. Picked up a few. Not enough for a first down.
What's interesting to see here is the reliance on Beamish here in the opening drive to make passes and to get him through. A lot more reliance on the running game 2 weeks ago.
Saw a lot of running in Brevard's takedown of defending champs Bellhaven. Like you said, passing it a lot. We'll see another pass. That one's broken up.
Number 1, Dylan James, a senior. Number 1, Jamar Robinson for SVU. My apologies.
Jamar Robinson of SVU, junior from Pasadena, California. Broke up the play before it even got a chance to start. 11-13 left to go in the first. Fourth down we'll see from Brevard, and only their second field goal attempt all season. Kick is up. And good. So in the second field goal attempt of the season for Brevard, they convert. That's their first field goal of the year as well.
And while Brevard takes the lead, you got to like what you saw from the SVU defense there, is that we talked earlier before the game that one of the keys for the SVU defense is stopping them on first and second down, and that's what they did there. First down, incomplete pass because of pressure on the quarterback and causing a high pass. So you really got to like there that they were able to get the stop on first down and then keep them to one set on that final set of downs there.
Definitely a good sign for head coach Joe Dupay's squad, limiting the Tornadoes to 3 points on their opening drive. We'll see what the special teams unit for the Knights has in store here.
If there's one thing that has definitely been a highlight for the Knights so far this season, it has been the special teams. The kick and punt returning, and especially the kicking and punting, has all been phenomenal for SVU. So this is definitely something that SVU's been giving themselves an edge to get better field position and to force their opponents into worse field position.
Nicholas Ackus to kick it off for Brevard. That'll be fielded by Southern Virginia. Broken up by his own man. Brings it out to roughly about the 15. That was Marcus Sollers, the freshman from Murray, Utah. Fielded the kick, and then we'll start with Southern Virginia on offense.
I think you can go ahead and call that an announcer's jinx right there. That was my bad.
We'll see what Southern Virginia has in store. They're led by veteran QB Isaiah Maxey. Maxey to pass. Completed. Gain of about 5 for Southern Virginia.
That's a good way to start off the game. Isaiah Maxey had a pretty rough game last game, having 2 interceptions and a lost fumble. He had a lot of pressure on him as well, so getting the ball out quick. Everything right there you want to see. Confidence in your quarterback, giving him a pass play to complete right off the bat, as well as quick to keep the pressure off of him. All around a great play call there on first down for SVU.
Second down in store. Maxey in the backfield. Talk about one of those shining spots for the Southern Virginia offense. Their running back, Tyree Call, had himself a game. Incomplete pass on second down. Bring up third and the same.
Yeah, Tyree Call was their workhorse. He was the one that unlocked the offense there. Had over 100 yards of rushing and 3 touchdowns. So just overall was the offensive drive. If you can complement that with a good passing game, that's what will get you your wins here as the season progresses. Is complementing Tyree Call and his emergence with a safe and moving passing game.
And Tyree Call, his first season here in Buena Vista. Third down and about 6. Maxey to pass. He gets pressure. That one's broken up. Almost picked off. Southern Virginia with a 3 and out. Could have been a lot worse, though. It was right inside the hands of the Brevard defender.
And right there, you saw the pressure, just forcing mistakes, and then that's what crippled SVU last week, and what they need to seek to avoid this week.
Knights to punt it away. Back to receive Zachary Orr. Orr takes it. And in the end, a good return for Orr. And Southern Virginia sets back up on defense.
Orr has definitely been a star player here for Brevard. He had a great week last week, getting 5 receptions for about 70 yards. Just overall has been kind of the go-to target for quarterback Beamish there.
Zachary Orr was a All-USA South first-team member last season. Definitely picking up where he left off. He and Beamish. Quite the connection there from quarterback to wide receiver. Hands it off. That one goes nowhere. Short gain of about 1 for Brevard. He was brought down by Javen Ball, freshman from Rexburg, Idaho. Second down and 8. Beamish 3-man to his right. Deaton in the backfield with him. Beamish to pass. Launches it. He's got a man open. Touchdown.
And like we were saying, that's number 2, Zachary Orr. Right there for Brevard. That connection has been solid, and it continues to just destroy defenses.
Zachary Orr picks up another receiving touchdown for himself and for the Brevard Tornadoes. And they'll send out the PAT unit. That's just seemed to be a good play on the side of Brevard.
Absolutely, and there seemed to be a miscommunication there on the defensive side for SVU. Had some players need to go in motion to cover that the 3-stack, so got to look to tighten those things up.
Extra point is up and good. Flag down on the play. We'll see what that's all about. Well, in the end, flag means nothing. Score stays the same. 10-0. Brevard leading Southern Virginia. 9:34 left to go here in the first quarter.
That's just a testament to how quickly things can turn with SVU's defense having a great stand on the first try, but immediately having the ball right back on their 45. It's a quick turn. Sometimes the best defense is a good offense. The time of possession, you were talking about that earlier before the game, is that time of possession is Brevard's best friend here. And as long as they can keep it and take it back, not much SVU can do.
So Southern Virginia will field the kickoff. Familiar faces back there for the Southern Virginia Knights. Jalen Lackey back to return. Takes his kickoff. Looking for space, couldn't get around the edge. Good return. Southern Virginia will take it at the 30. So now we'll see the second chance for the Southern Virginia offense. 3 and out on their first outing.
And you'll probably see a handoff to Tyreek Hall here on this possession.
Saw a couple of passes on their first go-round. See if you see the run here. 4-man front for Brevard. Quick screen on the outside. Found the edge. Pushed out of bounds.
Not exactly a handoff, but immediately giving it to their playmaker, Tyreek Hall.
So positive Southern Virginia play. And look down at the Brevard fan section. Getting all the palms up on that one. They saw a holding call. White Hat didn't see it. We march on. First down and 10, Southern Virginia Knights. Close formation in the backfield with Maxey. Hands it off. Small gain on the play. And that was Tyreek Hall. Second and 10. No gain on the prior play. Hall and Maxey in the backfield. Gives it off, finds some space, pushed out of bounds, gain of about 4.
Number 5.
That was you saw that earlier with Brevard's offense, that lots of motion there, a lot of people going in motion. Seems to be working so far in this game for both teams.
Something we've definitely seen from Southern Virginia so far is the emphasis on getting the ball out of Maxey's hands fast.
Absolutely. Sometimes you can't win the war in the trenches, so you just not even make it a factor.
Only one pass play has crossed the line of scrimmage so far for the Knights. Maxey back to pass. Let's see where this one goes. Hall has it. Hall makes him in. This dives for the first down. We'll see where they spotted. Might have stepped out of bounds before. And it looks like Hall will get a generous spot. Still brings up 4th down.
Watch the ball!
Offense comes out, punt unit comes on.
Definitely looked for a second there. They were hoping to go for it, but 4th and 3 maybe a little too much.
I think head coach Dupé was hoping that Hall's feet weren't out of bounds as he made that dive. Punt incoming. High punt. Find some space. Space in the open. Still going. Man to beat. On his way. Brevard with a special teams touchdown.
Wow. That was an incredible play, the blocking, everything. That's exactly what you want to see from a special teams reception there.
Zachary Orr picks up his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And just like that, 7:10 left to go in the first. Brevard leads 16-0. So Southern Virginia will take back over. Tornadoes 17, Knights nothing. Tornadoes to kick off, and they have a quite unique kickoff setup we've seen so far. Got a line of 3, about 2 hashes back from the ball, 2 yards back from the ball, and then another set of 3 right behind them. That one will trickle its way into the end zone. Touchback, Southern Virginia. And the Knights will take it out to 20.
So we've seen the Brevard offense go about maybe 100 yards of offense, but 2 touchdowns and a field goal coming out of it. That seems to be their play. Big defensive stops, good field position, and amazing special teams. That gives them great opportunities there at the end zone.
Maxey's back. Hall joins him. Maxey so far today, 3 of 5. Longest pass being a 10-yard completion to Hall. Another pass in. He's got a man open, the big tight end. That's Alex Sylvester, freshman from Houston, Texas. Sylvester listed as a wide receiver and a punter for the Southern Virginia Knights.
That's multifaceted right there.
Sylvester also completed a pass in Southern Virginia's last outing against Greensboro. It was 1 of 1, 100% is Alex Sylvester, and he's got one here today. 2nd down and about 3. Man in motion for the Knights. Maxey back to pass. Quick screen out. Hall has it. Got blockers in front of him, picks up the 1st down, still trucking.
And these first 2 plays have been really well done by SVU. Really good game planning. On that first play, you kind of expected a screen pass, but it was a quick little slant that gave extra yards. Kind of confused the defense, and there a really well executed screen that left Hall with 3 blockers in front of him by the time the ball got out. So just an excellent first set of downs there for SVU.
Brings up 1st and 10 for the Knights. Maxey in the pistol, back to pass. Another quick out. Got a man again. Finding space vertically. Brought down after a short gain. That was the freshman Jalen Lackey from Fredericksburg, Virginia. Picking up a couple of yards for the Southern Virginia Knights. Brings up second down.
And the key for SVU is just patience. Don't get bored with the short gains, the short movement. Just keep the ball moving. Keep getting the first downs. Keep getting gains of 3, 4, 5, and that'll get you to where you need to be.
Maxey to pass. That one thrown into the dirt. And Maxey had Tornadoes hot on his heels on that drop back. Incomplete, a third down and 6. And Mark, something we've seen just here in the opening couple of frames. Brevard able to get pressure. When Maxey drops back and doesn't get that ball out immediately on a screen pass, there's a couple of Tornadoes right in his face.
Absolutely, and that's why they've game planned the way they have, is to avoid that. They knew that was a big problem with the last couple of weeks, is pressure on Maxey, and so the game plan for SVU has been good. It's just whether it'll result in plays down the field.
Hall has it. Hall's got some space, lost his footing, only gained about, looks like it'll be a loss of 1. And that'll bring up fourth down.
And that's also the weakness of play calling to that, is that when your offense on the break seemed there to get like a really good block, a really good protection there, is that the game plan already is pass it out. So unfortunately in circumstances like that, you gotta get lucky on adapting. It's difficult, but that's just where the weakness comes in with that type of play calling.
So Sylvester will be back to punt or to return. Or had great success on the last punt return. See what he does here. Fumbles this one, and he's eventually met. Not able to corral it. And on the tackle, Heisman Griffin.
Makes you think the SVU defense did not appreciate the last punt return there.
Good tackle by the freshman from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. We said it before the game started. Heisman Griffin, 100% the best name in football.
Absolutely.
So we will see the Brevard Tornadoes backed up on their own side of the field. See what they can do here. Their last offensive drive, of course, that big touchdown pass to Zachary Orr.
And while we say they've been taking advantage of really good field position and great big plays on special teams like that, they also drove down the field their first possession, so it's not like they're without weapons there.
Hands that one off. Bulldozes his way down. Gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2. That was Chancellor Lee Parker for Brevard on the carry. Lee Parker, a grad transfer from Mars Hill. 6 foot, 230-pound running back in the backfield.
That is frightening.
They'll hand it to him again, and why not? Not a big gain on that one.
So here in the first quarter, kind of a big story has been a lot of slips and trips. Wonder
losses of footing?
Wonder if it's due to the rain, the field still being, the turf still being wet. I don't know.
Lee Parker picks up the first down and 10 for Brevard. Lee Parker out. Deaton in. Beamish hands it off. Deaton finds some space. Deaton hurdles a man. Deaton still going. Big gain for Jadian Deaton. Deaton, another one of those grad transfer players for the Brevard Tornadoes. Now, Deaton listed as a senior, but formerly playing at UT Martin, Division I school out of Tennessee, playing for the Skyhawks. Now finds himself in Brevard, North Carolina. Big game will play in Buena Vista, Virginia. Under 2 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. Beamish. Play action pass. Heaves it. Just couldn't find his man. He was looking for the arms of Cooper Hogan.
All right, there you saw good coverage there. Even if that ball had been well placed, that might have still, the SVU defense had plenty of time to get a hand on it. The offensive line, though, for Brevard, allowing for a lot of time for the receivers to get downfield and for Beamish to pick his spots and get the ball where he wants it.
Had 2 men there. Beamish hands it off again. Deaton. Deaton with a short game. That'll bring up 3rd down. That Southern Virginia defensive line, like you mentioned, good game against Greensboro. Had a couple of sacks on that one. Haven't seen them be able to get to the quarterback yet so far in this game. Like I said, good offensive block schemes coming from Brevard.
That'd be huge to turn the tide of the game, is forcing some of those mistakes, whether through pressure or through good secondary play.
3rd and manageable for Beamish. Big pass over the middle. That one's intercepted. Knights have it. Knights on the run. And taken down by Beamish, but interception for the Southern Virginia Knights.
Like we were saying, that's what the SVU defense can offer you. They can offer you a big play to get you momentum, to get you fired up, and get you a good field position. It's just up to the SVU offense to capitalize now on a good interception and a 50-yard field for them to cross.
Brevard wasn't afraid to pass it in the middle of the field earlier in the game. That might have just changed their mind. C.J. Williams, sophomore defensive back from Heathsville, Virginia.
That's his 2nd straight game with an interception. He had one last week.
So good start for the season for C.J. Williams. We'll see if the Southern Virginia offense can make use of the field position. Maxey hands it off to Hall. Hall is met in the middle. Looks like he'll gain about 1. And with just under a minute to go left here in the first quarter, still plenty of time for Southern Virginia. And hopefully that interception, big momentum swing for head coach Dupay.
Absolutely. You see big leads like this in the first quarter, and you always got to hope. There's time enough for a comeback, plenty of time. Usually what happens, those momentum builds, but that interception is a big opportunity to circumvent that.
Brings up 2nd and 8. Hall sent out. Screen on the way. Hall will pass it himself. He's got a man. Just dropped it. He had a man open. Hall was looking to complete it to Kenai Wesley.
Brilliant play call, honestly. He had a wide open wide receiver.
Just a tad overthrown for the running back Hall. And Wesley couldn't haul it in. But definitely something you like to see from the Southern Virginia offense. A little bit unconventional there.
Well, the game planning overall has just been really good, so they're just trying to figure ways to break through.
3rd and 8. Maxey forced to pass. Pressure coming. Maxey swallowed up in the backfield. Taken down by number 51, Adam Cheney. Adam Cheney, notable as a grad transfers. He's coming to Brevard from Cumberland's College. So first quarter ends, second quarter begins. It'll be 4th down. Southern Virginia still has the ball. We'll expect them to punt.
And right there, that's what's been the struggle for SVU, is that even those great defensive plays last week as well, that had the 3 interceptions last week, is that they didn't result in long drives and putting points up on the board. And right there, that was the first sack of the day for Brevard, right at the end of the first quarter. That's the culmination of the pressure they've been putting on. So just more of the same for SVU so far, hoping they can break that.
silver lining in the offensive game plan of Southern Virginia is that we've seen a lot of those plays go outside the tackles. When they get the edge, they're good at finding all those yards. In between the tackles is where we've seen Southern Virginia struggle throughout the year. They've been pretty productive when running in between the tackles and throwing it in the middle of the field. We'll see if they game plan differently coming into the second quarter. Switch sides of the field. Sylvester back to punt or back to receive for Brevard. Punt coming from Sylvester. It'll be fielded by Orr, brought down immediately. He's tackled by Southern Virginia number 28, Brendan Peoples. Mark, I find myself every time I'm looking down here at the roster, I see the same two letters over and over again. Freshman, freshman, freshman for the Southern Virginia squad. A very young squad for head coach Dupay.
Absolutely, and that's why it's key to look for those players that will lead your team for the future. That's why you like to see C.J. Williams getting interceptions in multiple games. That's why you like to see these things, even if the team isn't winning games as 0-4 to start the season. You like to see the leaders starting to develop and big players start to come into focus.
Well, speaking of big players, running up the middle again, still not being brought down, Chancellor Lee Parker. Well, Lee Parker with a short gain in carry. But Mark, just like you were saying, fantastic time to be a Southern Virginia Knights fan. Freshmen all over the field making big plays for the Southern Virginia Knights squad.
The key is just putting it all together to getting it all over the field. And so we'll see if SVU, as time goes on, can continue to develop that as a unit, that unity and that effectiveness.
Southern Virginia rushes for Parker handoff. He's got a hole in the middle. He's got some space. Chancellor Lee Parker, one man maybe. He goes for another touchdown. Chancellor Lee Parker, a couple big runs back to back there for the Brevard Tornadoes.
Yep, and that's his third touchdown in 2 weeks. He has had an incredible time rushing the ball. Another just huge playing gain for Brevard.
Rushing so far for Brevard has been an extremely lucrative line of work. Lee Parker, before that, when averaging 4.8 yards a carry. Deaton averaging 12.5 per touch. So the extra point is up and good. And Hugo Taylor, senior kicker, been perfect so far, yet to miss an extra point all season.
How's he on his 2 field goals attempts? You know what made the one today?
1-1 so far on field goal attempts, but perfect from the PATs. 13:57 left to go here in the second quarter. 24-0 is the score here in Buena Vista. This is the time you'd love to see that Southern Virginia special teams unit provide a spark here in this game. Ball and Lackey back to receive for Southern Virginia. Here come the men in motion for the Tornadoes. Kickoff up and away. Southern Virginia Fields. Swallowed up. So it'll be Southern Virginia ball at the 22. That was Javen Ball on the return.
Let's go, team!
Maxey's back there. Hands it off. Short gain of about 1. That was Trey Kelso, another freshman running back. Kelso from Appomattox, Virginia.
Yeah, Kelso had a really good game in the home opener here for SVU. Didn't have as good as a game last week, but we'll see if they can have that two-headed monster again with those two running backs.
So it'll be Kelso again back with Maxey. Trips left, Maxey back to pass. That one thrown into the dirt. No one open. Threw it at the feet of Kelso.
And you can see how the pressure is affecting how Maxey is viewing the game. Still had plenty of room and plenty of time to get something to happen, but that's not what you're expecting so far in this game. You're not expecting to have enough time to get something to work.
You mentioned to me before the game, Maxey against Southern Virginia, 8 sacks last week against Greensboro. And you said an additional 8 quarterback hits on Isaiah Maxey.
And in games where you have about 60 plays, that is not a good percentage of the time your quarterback is getting hit.
Living to fight another day is wise words for a quarterback. See what he does now. Maxey back to pass. Pressure incoming. That time swallowed up. Another sack for Brevard. And it looks like that'll be a half sack for Brevard number 6, Hot Rod Fitton.
Ariel, we were talking about him before the game. Is that one of the keys that has allowed Brevard to get 5 sacks 2 weeks ago was that he transferring in is taking up a lot of the attention there on the strong side.
We have kind of a two-headed monster on the defensive end sides for the Brevard College Tornadoes. Hot Rod Fitton on one side and Robert Dorsey on the other side. Dorsey, a junior from Charlotte, North Carolina. He leads USA South in sacks so far this season. With only 2 games, he's got 5 so far on the young season. And Hot Rod Fitton on the other side, we talked about him before the game. Grad transfer, was at East Tennessee State last year. Years before that, he was playing with the South Carolina Gamecocks. Started a couple games for them, had a career-high 6 tackles against the University of Kentucky. And now he finds himself in Brevard, facing off against the Southern Virginia Knights here in Buena Vista.
And his resume is impressive, and that's why the attention paid to him is so much, and it's really unlocking the talent of Dorsey there on the other side to just get to the quarterback. And 2 games leading the division in sacks is crazy.
So it'll be holding, and that'll move the ball 10 yards.
So despite the flag on the first play of the game, it's been a pretty clean game by both teams so far.
Clean game so far for both teams, but now some really good field position on the side of the Tornadoes. Southern Virginia with traditional 3-man front, nose tackle. That's number 5. Talon Birch. Handoff. Taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Loss of about 1.
Great start for the defensive possession for SVU.
Make it 2nd and 11. Got that defensive front for Southern Virginia made up of Birch and Bringhurst. Then on the right side, of course, you got C. Wright. Line everything up. Big pass, big gain. 3rd down at about 4.
And to who else? Zachary Orr.
Zachary Orr before that couch. Only 3 receptions today, but 72 yards, his longest being that 40-yard touchdown he had earlier in the first quarter.
So a good reception there to give him 3rd and manageable.
So 3rd and 4. Beamish back to pass. Pressure coming from the Knights. Has a man open, caught, and pushed out of bounds at the 9. Wide open was Adam Douglas.
And just an amazing leaping catch there, too, to bring that in.
Adam Douglas, junior wide receiver from Greensboro, North Carolina, picks up his first catch of the afternoon and picks up a first down for Brevard. And this is where we've seen the Tornadoes be extremely dangerous so far this season. Again, only 2 games played. They're 90% touchdown ratio when they're in the red zone.
That is an absolutely insane number there.
Brings a man in motion. Beamish pitches left. Swallowed up. Good tackle by the Southern Virginia defense. That's Amari Gilchrist again.
It was really cool to watch him just fly in. He was in the end zone lining up to start that play, but came up and just knew exactly where the ball was going and made that tackle.
And that was the first rush of the day for Tristan Wynn, senior running back from Yanceyville, North Carolina. No gain on the play, second down. Wynn is back there again with Beamish. Man goes in motion. Cooper Hogan looks up just over the outstretched arms of Wynn. So third down for the Tornadoes.
Another opportunity here for SVU to hold them to a field goal. Talked about them winning on first and second down, and they've done that both downs. So now a really good opportunity here on third.
We saw that interception from Williams earlier for the Southern Virginia Knights on the opposing side of the field. Pre-snap shenanigans. Chancellor Lee Parker back in the backfield, man in motion. Beamish to pass. Scans the field, takes off on his own. That one's taken down, and it will draw fourth down for Brevard.
And there you go. SVU doing exactly what they need to do. Got backed up in the end zone, but keeping them to 3. An attempt at 3 at least.
Well, the last few times Brevard has been in the red zone, Southern Virginia has come up with stops. Only the third field goal attempt for Brevard so far in the young season. They made their first one earlier today. Taylor back to kick. Up and good. Field goal on the side of Brevard. Good defensive stop there.
Absolutely. Again, you like to see those flashes from your team so you can know what strengths you have to build around. You know, now as coach, you're looking at this and like, hey, our red zone defense against an extremely good red zone offense was pretty effective, and you know that you have strengths there. That in a shortened field you work very well, and so it's things like that you can build on as SVU with so many freshmen on the roster.
We'll see if Southern Virginia can get the offensive side of the ball rolling. Been a tough outing so far for Southern Virginia on the offensive side. Maxey is 7 of 11, 41 yards. Longest pass of 12. He's been sacked twice so far today. Good news is for Southern Virginia is that all of their running backs on those run attempts averaging good yards. 6 a carry for Hall, 8 a carry for Sylvester. Good productive numbers coming from Southern Virginia. A little bit of a slip. Looking for space. A lot of horizontal yards. Not a lot of vertical yards there for Southern Virginia. But it was Javen Ball again. Seen a couple of good returns from the freshman Ball. So the Southern Virginia offense marches their way onto the field. Noticing a distinct lack of Isaiah Maxey. Instead, Southern Virginia's number 16, Devin Watson, sophomore from West Jordan, Utah. He'll be taking the snaps.
At this point, looking to try anything.
Lost the snap. Looks like Southern Virginia held on to it, and they did. Devin Watson, again, sophomore from West Jordan, Utah, formerly playing at Summit Academy. First snap didn't go as planned. Hopefully some more luck on the second one.
D. Stay focused.
Loss of about 2 on the snap. Hands it off. Met in the middle. Short gain, looks like of about 1.
Down at 17-yard line. Third down for the Knights.
Just nothing here so far. Good opportunity, though. If you see, the thing about 3rd and 10 is that obviously it's not as easy to convert as 3rd and 2. But if you convert a 3rd and 10, all of a sudden you've just kind of broke the wind of the defense, that they got you to such a bad position and you still managed to push through. So good opportunity, nonetheless.
3 on the right side. Watson back there with Hall. Watson to pass. He finds Hall. Hall needs to find space. Found a little, brought down. Tackle made by number 51. That's Adam Cheney. Adam Cheney had a sack earlier in today's game. That one on Maxey. This time takes Hall down, brings up 4th down. 7:15 left to go here in the second quarter. 27-0. Brevard leads over Southern Virginia. And Sylvester will line back up for Southern Virginia to punt it away.
For the Knights, number 85, Alex Sylvester, back to return, number 2, Zachary Orr.
Zachary Orr to return. He's already returned 1 for a touchdown so far. Sylvester's punt is up and away. Orr's going to try it. Orr's got some men and some space. Takes it down, good return. It'll be Brevard ball at the Southern Virginia 32.
And the interesting thing about that play is that you never expect the returner to return those short punts. But Orr, he's ready to go. He's raring to go. And just gain of about 20 on that return, and it's very impressive.
Orr so far today has not had a single punt kicked his way in which he has not tried to return for something. No fair catches so far in the afternoon. No Peter calls for everyone to get away from the ball. He wants it, and he wants yards in front of him.
He's a braver man than me. Goodness, I'd be calling fair catch every time.
Beamish lines up 1st and 10. Back beside him looks to be Chancellor Lee Parker. Man in motion, strong side, left side. Lee Parker. Short gain of about 2. Brought down by Southern Virginia's number 53. 53 is Cutler Matheson. Matheson, another one of those freshmen, hails from Beaver, Utah. Tied in on the right side, Lee Parker on the left side. They'll hand it off to him. Chancellor Lee Parker bouncing around, finding space. Picks up a 1st down and more. And just like that, Brevard's back in the red zone.
And Lee Parker's just so hard to bring down. It's mostly muscle that he's carrying there, and you cannot bring him down easy. You need 2 or 3 guys every time.
And we've said it before, Chancellor Lee Parker, 6 foot and every bit of 230 pounds. Before that one, well, Lee Parker so far in the game, 7 attempts, 85 yards, averages 12 a pop. 1 touchdown for his name as well. Lee Parker's out of the game. 2 tight ends set on the right side. Deaton's back there. Beamish hands it off. Had a man, beat 2 men, still going. Gain of about 1. He was taken down by Southern Virginia's Damon Brown. Brown, freshman from Kaysville, Utah.
And you like to see SVU's defense really has the capability to blow up run plays. Even though the first defender to get to the running back didn't take him down, you had 2 more ready to go and able to trip him up. So SVU has shown a capability to blow up some run plays.
See what Southern Virginia do here. 4:45 left to go. 27-0 Brevard. Beamish backs up to pass. Beamish with time and space. Beamish finds a man. Touchdown! Tornadoes. Cooper Hogan. Cooper Hogan, only 2nd time he's caught the ball today. Had 7 yards on his first catch, a touchdown on his second. Tornadoes lead 33-0 top of Southern Virginia. 4:37 left to go. Hugo Taylor back for the PAT. Kick is up and straight through the middle. So Taylor extends the lead after a good catch from Cooper Hogan. 34-0 is the score here in Buena Vista. 4:37 left to go.
And really, you don't have many notes for Brevard in terms of the offensive execution. It's been, besides the one interception, it's been pretty downhill for them. Full speed and not looking back.
And Brevard, in all fairness, since their head coach came in, Bill Kayat, back in 2017, they have been a winning program from that point on. In just his third season, he became the all-time winningest coach in Brevard history.
Wow.
He has really set a standard of excellence down there in North Carolina. Bill Kayat, head coach of the Tornadoes.
And one of the things that shows that is all the transfers that come in. They want to play for him. It's an exciting program to play for, and it's impressive to take a team to that type of standard.
After his first season as head coach of the Brevard Tornadoes, the next minicamp they had 130 new participants for their team they had to weed through. Southern Virginia tries to take it. Ball has it. Ball, good return, brings it out to about the 29, so Southern Virginia takes over.
Number 6 to the ball for return.
See what Southern Virginia has in store here. It will still be sophomore Devin Watson taking the snaps for head coach Dupay.
After the play, unfortunately, conduct, number 22 on the 16, number 29 on the receiving team. First down, offset, first down.
So if you heard that on your speakers at home, unfortunately, conduct on both teams. No one can get along, but nothing happens. Southern Virginia first down.
Stay hungry, D.
Watson, another fumbled snap. Looks up. He's got a man. That man's got space. Big pass up. Devin Watson found Javen Ball.
And that was great adaptation there. I don't think that's the play exactly had, but because the fumble snap that you had, he started looking, what can I do? What can I do? And was able to find the open receiver down the field.
So Javen Ball listed as a linebacker. Seen him returning punts. And he picks up a first down for the Southern Virginia Knights. Watson back there again. He's got Kelso on his right. Back to pass, Watson. Had a man, just overthrown. Looking for Tucker McCormick.
Now, that's a name we haven't called very much today. Tucker McCormick's a great wide receiver. He just hasn't had the opportunities to get the ball today.
We've seen a couple of Southern Virginia receivers so far in the season have really good extended plays. Sylvester had one earlier today. We've seen Chase Pope in that home opener here against Maryville have some good receptions. See if Southern Virginia has more of a focus on throwing that ball downfield. Devin Watson, second down for Southern Virginia. Kelso Posado, another pass. That one over top of the middle. He's got a man. Oh, just through the hands of Sylvester. Looked like he had it for a second. Third down and long.
And unfortunately for the Knights, even when you've gotten those plays downfield, there's been a couple of them dropped. Maybe just a little bit thrown off or whatever it may be, but you had that trick play earlier that was just dropped.
So small things build up into big things over the course of the game. 34-0, 3:36 left to go here in the first half. Watson and Kelso. Kelso sent out left. Watson to pass, pressure coming. Looking for his man, didn't have him. There is a flag down in the secondary.
Holding on defense, number 21. 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So it'll be holding against Tornadoes number 21, Japhus Ferguson. Automatic first down for Southern Virginia.
And that is the biggest break that SVU has had all day. It's exactly what they needed.
And one of very few flags we've seen so far in today's game. Kelso and Watson. Trying to get a trick run play. Found the edge. Couldn't find the line of scrimmage. A couple of flags down. Southern Virginia was looking to try to get Sintez Gibson in on the action.
They had that run play with him earlier that did pretty well, so they were trying to imitate that again.
Holding on the offense, number 26. 10-yard penalty to the 50 spot. For the first down.
That'll be holding on 26 Trey Kelso. His first flag of the afternoon. And that backs up the Knights.
The silver lining is that you're still on first down. Never mind, you're still on second down. That's my bad.
So it'll be second down at about 20 for Southern Virginia. Two more men in the backfield with Watson. Play action pass has a man. That's Sylvester. Alex Sylvester fights his way down. Close to the first down marker. It'll be third down in inches or a first down for the Southern Virginia Knights.
Gotta love to see your punter making big plays like that.
Not just a punter, Alex Sylvester. Quick pass in. Couldn't find his man. Pass intended for 89, Demetrius Perry, freshman from Chesapeake, Virginia.
Watch the ball!
Bring up third down and 1 for the Knights. Tornadoes showing blitz. That they do. Pressure coming. Watson has it. And it appears Watson has enough for the first down.
That's a play call you haven't seen from either team all game, a QB keep right there.
Design quarterback run, had pressure coming. Good work by the Southern Virginia offense to create that hole for Watson. Fresh set of downs for Southern Virginia. And some of the best field position we've seen so far for the Southern Virginia Knights.
Well, this drive was extended by the holding call. This is the best you've seen the SVU offense all day.
2:10 and winding down here in the first half. Watson back to pass. Finds his man. Finds some space. Good gain on the play. Jalen Lackey.
That's the point of those screen passes, to get the ball to your playmakers. He broke like 3 tackles on that play. So instead of a 2-yard loss, that gives you a 6-7 yard gain.
Hit the 2-minute warning. I'll give Southern Virginia an opportunity to talk about their game plan. Southern Virginia knocking on the door of the red zone. Haven't seen that area yet so far today.
It would be huge for this offense to get that going. Especially, you have a huge opportunity here is that SVU receives the kickoff at the beginning of the second half. And going 2 for 1, that can change the whole outlook of a game. Obviously a huge deficit, so a lot of work left to go beyond just a 2 for 1 opportunity. But it is a great place to start if you're looking to get back into this game.
Southern Virginia definitely looking to leave this first half with some points in their pocket. They'd love a touchdown. I'm sure they'd be happy with a field goal as well. Second down is short, second down and about 2. Watson's in the backfield. Kelso joins him. 3 men out to the left, 1 lone receiver on the right side. Number 80, Chase Pope, senior from Elk Creek, Virginia. Chase Pope, a USA South honoree last season. We've yet to see him get started so far in this game. Knights bring a man in motion. Hands it off to Kelso. Kelso finds some space. Kelso still going. Definitely a first down. Southern Virginia.
Just like there's your first trip to the red zone.
First and 10 from the Tornadoes 16. Watson and the Knights. 90 seconds left to go here in this first half. Watson back to pass. Fumbles the snap a little bit. Pressure coming. Watson looks ahead. Watson's got himself a touchdown. Devin Watson.
And neither SVU QB has had a hole that big all day to run through. The first real hole found in the Brevard offense, right? Brevard defense right there.
In all fairness to Devin Watson, looked like a broken play on the side of SVU. He turned it into a touchdown. 6 points on the board for the Knights. The first PAT opportunity for Southern Virginia on its way. First kick is up and down the middle. So Southern Virginia points on the board at the end of the first half. 34-7, Brevard leading. 1:22 left to go here in the first half.
Now that is plenty of time for Brevard to respond. But on that drive, my dad always used to say, he's a big golfer, so he used to say, it's not how good your good shots are, it's how good your bad shots are. And right there, that was one of the best bad shots that SVU has had all day to put that touchdown on the board.
Devin Watson picks up his first touchdown of the afternoon. And we're going to see Southern Virginia kick off. And like you said, 1:22, not a lot of time for a whole lot of teams. We have seen Brevard take some big shots down the field. And Southern Virginia, you have to know that.
Yeah, you'd have to imagine there's at least 1 or 2 times where Brevard is just going to sling it to, which is a huge opportunity since you're feeling that's what your opponent's going to do on offense. You have the opportunity to force a broken play, to get some pressure on the quarterback, or to get a good play in the secondary. But also a huge opportunity to be burned and put points up on the board right before that. You had a 2-for-1 opportunity that now is vanished.
Beamish has been sacked 1 time today. He's 7-13 with 1 interception, 125 total yards for the quarterback for Brevard. And back to receive some familiar faces, the touchdown man himself, Cooper Hogan, back there for the Tornadoes. Kick is up. It'll be fielded a little bit earlier. Taken down. It'll be Brevard football at the 35.
Well, it's interesting. It's like it gives Brevard really good field position comparatively, but it keeps it out of the hands of the playmakers that were there in the deep. So ultimately, a really good play, even if it allows Brevard to have good field position, you keep it out of the hands of Hogan and out of Orr's hands. So.
Well, on the return was number 12, Brooks Ashford Jr., senior linebacker from Orangeburg, South Carolina. First time we mentioned his name today on today's broadcast. So it'll be 1:18 left to go here in the first half. Brevard leading 34-7. Beamish is under center, and Deaton is behind him, strong side, left side. Fake the handoff, looking to pass. He's got time. Some pressure on his way. Beamish using his legs. He's taken down inbounds by Southern Virginia.
And what's really cool there for SVU's defense is that he had no downfield options there despite all the time he had. So great play by SVU's defense, just giving up the little gain.
Extremely good tackle by Ollie Bird. keeping Beamish in bounds, keep that clock running. 44 seconds and winding down. Beamish back there, Deaton beside him. Tight end and 2 wide receivers to his right. He'll just hand it off. Deaton takes it. And it looks like no rush on the side of Brevard for this first half. It looks like they'll just wind out the clock. They could let the clock run out if they wanted to.
Well, it looks like Beamish is there on the sideline, so likely not getting another play off.
So that is how the first half will end. Brevard leading the hosting Knights 34-7. Here at the end for the Knights. Again, score doesn't read too well. 2 good defensive stops from the side of Southern Virginia and a touchdown to boot at the end of that second quarter.
Absolutely. The score doesn't look great, but you do like where you're heading. And obviously, if Brevard can put up 34 points in a half, SVU can as well. There's plenty of time, and with the momentum getting the ball back in the beginning of the second half, you're hopeful if you're the Knights. You're not expectant, but you're hopeful. And that's what you want to see, is you want to see something to hope for, see good plays, and not just a big play, but a consistent 2-in-a-row defensive stops, a great overall, and a great drive going down the field offensively.
So Mark, do me a favor, put on your coaching cap and whistle. Your head coach, Joe Dupay. Now your team's going in down 34-7, but some good highlights there at the end. What are you telling your squad at this point?
I'm telling my squad to keep up with the adaptation, to not crumble if a play is broken, to keep going, to keep seeking after the play you're defending or the route you're running. And especially if I'm talking to QB Watson, I'm saying keep up what you're doing. Keep looking for the opportunities to break open plays, especially if the plays themselves are already broken. I'm keeping my team hyped for that, to build on that momentum and say, hey, we're here to get better at playing football. We're here that next game we're going to win, and the next one, and the next one. And it starts right now. So I'm telling my team, don't look at the scoreboard. It's 0-0. We're here to put our plays into effect and to get better at this.
Well, some wise words from our booth head coach, Mark Duffin. We'll toss it to halftime. Brevard leads 34-7 over top of the Southern Virginia Knights. We'll bring you back to the start of the action in the second half.
no special guest joining us at this game for the win. Please give your attention to the field and welcome us, public welcome our SU-15, going by the main players. They will be performing to Better 100 by main players. Let's give a special gift. That's a big round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause and welcome back to the field our very own Southern Virginia University, Matt Martin. It's still country. The game show will be nominated to you for one of the two choreographers of the country here. In 1999, Tornadoes released the first studio album, including a hit song that would become a choreographed anthem for decades to come. So when you look, no shirts and short skirts, and get ready to party as the band is back to the Florida section performs Dr. Michael Doctor into a man at Florida Win. The fans will throw about it. It's soccer by solution of 9-5. Get ready to move as the band runs out for this iconic stick. Now, and clap along as the band plays our Southern Virginia University fight song.
They don't usually count us down, do they? Okay. As we welcome you back here to Southern Virginia University and Buena Vista. Southern Virginia and Brevard going at it in some USA South football action. Brevard kickoff. Southern Virginia with the ball. Welcome you back to the action. Chris Fly along with Mark Duffin. Mark, good second half from both teams. 34-7 lead, however, for the Tornadoes.
Yeah, absolutely. The Brevard for most of the first half was in control, but SVU started to pick it up there, both defensively and offensively there at the end of the first half. So a very key possession here for SVU really to start off. They need to get the running game going. They need to keep the passing game going with Devin Watson, the sophomore quarterback, coming in for Isaiah Maxey. There's a lot of things they need to do, but this possession here is key because of the momentum they built there at the end of the first half.
Well, Devin Watson was thrown in for Isaiah Maxey there in the second quarter, and as he's come in, done fairly well for himself. Picked up a touchdown. Watson has also go 4 of 8 for 51 yards. Second down and 10. On the other side of the ball for the Brevard Tornadoes. Good defensive work so far. They picked up 2 sacks, both those being on Maxey earlier today.
The interesting thing, they've also gotten some QB hits on Watson, but no sacks is the interesting thing there. He's gotten the ball out every time.
Quick run up the middle. That one swallowed up on the inside, making the tackle number 11, Trey Williams. Trey Williams, graduate student, measured at 5'11", 250 pounds from Loganville, Georgia. That'll bring up third down and 9 for SVU. Watson and Hall make up the backfield. Pope here on the right side. Watson back to pass. Had a man down the middle, had some contact, looked for the flag. No cloth thrown on the play.
And that was a really good defensive play because those are the types of plays that are bang-bang, and if you don't get a hand on the ball, that's probably a penalty. So a great defensive play there to get a hand on the ball to alter the pass for Brevard there on the key third down for SVU right at the start of the half.
So a tough 3 and out for the Knights will bring up another punt for Sylvester. And not returning the punt this time, we've seen Zachary Orr field most of them. Different face back there to return. That looks to be number 15. Actually, looks like that's just number 5. James Woods. Sylvester's punt is up, and it's a high one. Hit before he could get a chance. Unfortunate flag, but there are multiple down on the play. And just for the sake of saying it, returning that punt was going to be Jeremiah Lane, freshman from Louisville, Georgia. Did get a chance on that one. We'll see what the flag's all about.
I think the discussion might be about whether he was blocked into the punt returner or whether he made contact with the returner. Very bang right there as well for the refs.
Will be interesting to see. If you're watching along at home, just back your feet up 15, 20 seconds. Text us, let us know. Meeting of the Stripes is over. Let's see.
Interference on the 60 team. Those fouls offset will replay 4th down.
So in the end, both teams do a boo-boo and nothing matters. Brevard takes over, middle of the field.
And you kind of like to see that. I used to do some reffing when I was attending BYUI, and you like to see that as a ref where you keep the play was really bang, and you could argue both sides, and so you call it both penalties, and it works out. Especially in a game that's a blowout, it's not a serious call. A blowout in the making right now. So you like to see that type of reffing there.
In Southern Virginia and Sylvester, we get another chance to do it all again. Big punt from Sylvester, just as good as the last one. This time it will be fielded. Short gain on the return. Jeremiah Lane for Brevard with about 6 yards. It'll bring up 1st and 10, the first time we get to see the Brevard offense here in the second half. And Mark, I think we can both agree they had an extremely strong first half showing on the offensive side.
Absolutely. Very few missteps, very few mistakes. Out of the whole first half, you had 3 down possessions there with the interception and the 2 ending possessions that ended in a field goal and nothing. Which at the end of the half, that nothing possession doesn't matter too much. So overall, just an amazing showing there. Several touchdowns, some special teams plays leading the points. Overall, just a really good offensive showing from Brevard.
Well, Brevard have a small hiccup in the fielding of things so far. Had a holding call there on the punt. But nevertheless, it's going to be Tornadoes ball. So it looks like we'll get things started. Brevard will start roughly about the 39. On the run 39. Beamish is back there. Joining him, that's Chancellor Lee Parker. Lee Parker already with a touchdown today. And he'll hand it off to Lee Parker. Right down the middle, but nowhere to go. The Southern Virginia defensive line holds it up.
Number 1, Parker with the play. Down at the 37-yard line. Hold on.
Well, that'll be the 8th rushing attempt so far for Chancellor Lee Parker. Knocking on the doors of 100 yards so far. 1 touchdown averaged an impressive 14 yards a pop. Back in the backfield again. Under the center is Beamish. Play action pass, got a man, got space. First down and more, pushed out of bounds.
And that's just really good offense there, using the threat of Lee Parsons right there to just force the defense into complete trap mode to get him down, like they did the previous time. A really good stop, but you got to keep him stopped is the problem. And using the threat of that, easy play action pass right there.
And her new name in the passing game, Joseph Kuehler, sophomore tight end from Virginia Beach, Virginia. His first reception of the afternoon. We've seen him do an excellent job on the blocking side of things so far this game. Beamish in the backfield, Deaton sent out wide. Big pass again, that up the middle, gain of about 7. That was Beamish finding number 19, Adam Douglas. So a couple of productive pass plays so far for the Tornadoes. Second down and about 2. Three-man front for Southern Virginia. Showed blitz for a minute, then backed off. See right there on that far right side. Blitz coming in. Linebacker got pressure on him. Beamish pass. That one just a little bit too far. Beamish was looking for Will Marshall.
And that was a really good blitz call there by SVU. Put some immediate pressure. Had to get out of the pocket to make that throw.
Will Marshall, the grad transfer from Georgetown College in Tennessee. First time he's been targeted today. Chancellor Lee Parker in the backfield again. Beamish under center, 2 tight end set on the strong side, right side, man in motion. Looks to be a handoff, that it is. Chancellor Lee Parker rumbling down, makes it down to the 30.
And right there, that's what he gives to you. The first SVU defender hit him in the backfield, but which would have been a 4th down and not enough to go for it. But because it just takes multiple defenders to take him down every time, and he was able to break through for that first down.
So after the big run from Chancellor Lee Parker, brings up a new 1st and 10 for Beamish and the Tornadoes. Man in motion, strong side, left side. Play action pass, roll out to the other side. Big pass in, touchdown. Beamish finds Orr.
A little bit less easy of a play action pass right there, but perfectly placed. Everything you'd want. You get a big run, about a 7-yard gain, and utilize that to get a big touchdown.
Bootleg to the outside, and what a showing so far from number 2, Zachary Orr. 2 receiving touchdowns and a touchdown on a punt return earlier today. Makes it 40-7, Brevard leading. Looking to stay perfect on PAT so far for the season is Hugo Taylor. Taylor's kick is up. And good, no surprise there. Make it 41-7. Brevard Tornadoes leading, and Zachary Orr having himself an afternoon.
He has certainly been the driving force for this offense, along with Lee Parsons there in the backfield. Just the tandem has just run over this SVU defense. And the special team plays are always the most impactful. They always give just a jolt where you least expect it. And so, or getting the touchdown there has just set the tone for the whole game. So overall, I believe that's 4 touchdowns between the 2 players, which is crazy good.
You've got touchdowns for Orr, touchdowns for Hogan, and touchdowns for Chandler Lee Parker. But on the defensive side, we'll get to see another run. We'll see if it's Watson. We'll see if it's Watson taking the snaps for Southern Virginia. We have seen Southern Virginia in the past like to switch around quarterbacks, see if we can find a spark. Watson does own the only Southern Virginia touchdown so far today. First, we'll see a Southern Virginia fair catch. It'll be night ball.
Seen a lot more fair catches in this at the beginning of this half than the entirety of the first half.
Looks like punters and kickers starting to get in their rhythm. As the game goes on, it will be Watson. Beside him is Hall.
It also helps not having Orr returning the punt or kick to take it back.
Pass in from Watson. Little scoop and shovel pass. Hall. Big gain from Southern Virginia.
If there's one thing you can say about SVU's coaching staff is they have not let this game go. They have tried everything and anything to keep SVU in this game, to keep the players thinking and pushing forward.
And those trick plays, you can call, for the most part, they have paid dividends.
Absolutely.
So wonderful hook and ladder play there for Southern Virginia. Brings up a fresh set of downs. The catch and eventual shovel off was Chase Pope, his first catch of the afternoon. He gave it to Tyreek Hall. Hall is still in the game. Watson to pass. He's got a man open in the middle of the field. Excellent pass by Watson. Moriak added on top. Southern Virginia is within the 20.
You have got to love what you've seen from Watson today, picking out the open players. That was a needle right through two Brevard defenders in the middle.
And that was Jalen Lackey, freshman from Fredericksburg. Found himself in the middle. There was a yellow marker on the field we must have missed, but in the end, it only helps the Knights and hurts Brevard. Face mask on the side of the defense. Virginia marches even closer to the end zone. How about that pass coming from Watson? We've seen Southern Virginia throw it to the middle a couple times so far today, and they've been successful for the most part doing that as well. So fresh set of downs. Still technically first down and 10 from the 11-yard line. Watson and Hall make up the backfield. Two men on either side, send a man in motion. Play is blown dead, flag on the play. It'll look to be a false start.
77. False start. 77
I think you could probably call that an excitement foul right there. Getting just a little too excited about the opportunity here.
Little momentum on their way for Southern Virginia, and 77 Cambridge Bingham, left tackle, junior from Kaysville, Utah, with a false start. And we'd hate for Cambridge Bingham's name to only be brought up on the flag. At the left tackle spot so far, done a pretty good job of holding back some extremely talented defensive ends on the Brevard side. Watson, they'll run the same play. Hall has it. Hall looking for space. Hall couldn't find it. Good defensive stand there from Brevard. Second down.
The nice thing about the positioning is that you do have the opportunity for another first down. This isn't score or nothing. You do have an opportunity there with a yard to spare.
So making his way off of the field was Alex Sylvester.
He's had a heck of a game today in both special teams and receiving.
Two men on the left side for SVU. Pressure coming on the side of Brevard. That ball fell out of his hands. They could rule it a fumble. They do not. Incomplete pass. Third down. Saw that pressure coming before Watson looks to get it away. Arm was going forward, however. So third down on the incomplete pass.
The thing that Brevard's done very well with their pressure, it's been pretty continuous, but the most pressure has come on those key second, third downs to force SVU into bad spots.
Have some pressure coming in from the linebackers on that side. Third down and 11. Similar formation lined up before. No pressure coming on the side of Brevard. Oh, they'll bring it in. No blitz, all pressure. Sack. Tornadoes. And that was Ernest Smith the second. 270-pound senior from Barnwell, South Carolina.
And I think that's Brevard's third sack, and I think all three of those sacks have come on third down. It has been an impressive showing there of the critical stops for that Brevard front line.
Excellent job by the Tornado defense. Brings up field goal opportunity for Southern Virginia. It's Gage Butler, number 46, line up from the right hash. Big kick, and that one looks to just be a little bit wide left. No good, keeps the score 41-7. Just under 9 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. Brevard leading.
Looked like Brevard might have gotten a hand on that right there at the line. Not enough to fully stop it, but it definitely looked like enough to send it out left.
So with that, it is Tornado ball. And they'll start from within their own 20. So Brevard will start from their 20. As Seawright and the Knights defense look to get a good stop. Beamish still out there. Fullback right side, strong side right. Hands it off down the middle. And a good gain coming up the middle. And that was Jaden Deaton. Deaton, a name we haven't mentioned a whole lot since that first half. We've seen a lot coming from Chancellor Lee Parker. But Deaton was the man for the first 2 weeks of the Brevard season.
Well, and he's not had a bad game today. He's averaged about 8 yards per carry. You just give it to the hotter hand as opposed to the hot hand.
Similar setup, 2 men out right, tight end in the backfield. Beamish hands it off to Deaton. Deaton looking for some space, found some vertical, picks up a couple. So it'll be third down and under a yard. 7:43 and winding down, left to go here in the third. Brevard leads 41-7 over top of the hosting Knights. Short yardage situation. And they've got an empty backfield. Deaton in motion. Beamish looks to pass. Got a man in the middle. Found him. That's Cooper Hogan.
It's a bold play call to go empty backfield on a third and short, but it absolutely paid off for Brevard.
First and 10 for the Tornadoes. Fullback switch over, strong side, left side. Hands it off. Found some space, has got the edge. Still moving, still running, and knocked out of bounds at the 40. Jaden Deaton. And there is a flag down in the backfield. And by the looks on the faces, it looks like this one might be coming back.
Holding on defense. Continue on foul. After the run. First down.
So we stand corrected here inside the booth, holding on the defensive side on Southern Virginia. That'll tack on another 10 on the end of that run.
Well, that just goes to show the running prowess of Deaton right there, putting up that big gain, and then having the extra 10 yards added onto it.
So by the looks of it, it'll be 1st and 10 on the opposing 36. 1st and 10 on the 36, 6:38 left to go and winding down. Beamish in the backfield. No man in motion, pass. Seawright with some pressure. Beamish gets it off, finds his man. His man finds space. Zachary Orr again. 3 plays in a row, extremely productive for the Tornadoes.
Absolutely, and that's despite some good SVU pressure in a couple of those plays, but just good adaptation, not letting the SVU defense get to them.
So Tornadoes find themselves in the red zone yet again. Southern Virginia, to their credit, pretty good red zone defense so far. Deaton and Beamish in the backfield. Hands it off to Deaton. Deaton finds some space, breaks 1 tackle, gains a couple more. Looks like the ball came out. Southern Virginia has it, and Southern Virginia is running down the field. Only Beamish to beat. Finally brought out of bounds by the quarterback, but Southern Virginia picks it up, and that. We're trying to get some information as to who exactly picked that ball up. But so far for Southern Virginia, it gets the fumble, and the nameless man brings it to the Southern Virginia side of the field.
Well, and how about that for red zone defense right there? That's about as good as red zone offense SVU's had all day, too. Incredible stand right there on the first play of the red zone drive.
And the second takeaway for the Southern Virginia defense. 1st and 10 on the opposing side. Watson tries to find some space. He picks up about 2. But just like that, Mark, 3 incredibly impressive plays coming from the Tornadoes. Southern Virginia turns it around just like that.
And that's the interesting thing about defense is that despite maybe not the best yardage defense, SVU's defense has been really good at those big plays, at takeaways, at providing sparks. And so if SVU's defense can continue building on that and become better in those yardage situations and limiting those big plays before that there's a really good foundation for this SVU defense.
Trey Kelso in motion, looks for Trey Kelso, not there. Play is blown dead, flag is down. We'll see exactly what this is all about. So it's a false start on Southern Virginia. That'll go against number 1, Tucker McCormick. So false start on the wide receiver. Backs up Southern Virginia. Now, Mark, first couple opening drives here in the second half for Southern Virginia, we saw Tyreek Hall. And now we see Trey Kelso. You had some interesting things to say at the break about Trey Kelso.
So Trey Kelso in the first half, limited touches, only 2, but he averaged 7 yards per attempt. And in trying to look to push the ball down the field, you're going to need both your passing and your rushing going very well. You had Watson providing that spark in the passing game, but Kelso could be the one providing the spark here in the rushing game.
How about that for Kelso? Picks up a handful for himself. He had a partner in crime as Tucker McCormick was his leading blocker on that play.
That's what you like to see from McCormick is you make a mistake, you cause a false start, but you go ahead and you do the nitty-gritty to get those yards back.
After a strong play, it will bring up a Southern Virginia 3rd down. It'll be 3rd down and 6. Watson's back there. Kelso joins him. McCormick in the slot. Pressure coming from Brevard. Quick pass in. Finds his man. That's the punter. That's Sylvester. Sylvester's got time. Sylvester down at the 7.
And right there, you'd have to say probably your best all-around player so far in this game, Sylvester, having an absolute day for himself.
Quick play coming from Southern Virginia. Kelso's breaking tackles. Kelso Southern Virginia touchdown.
And sorry, good, go ahead. Right there, we've seen the two things that we really saw that we really needed SVU to start get going. You trust in Watson, you keep him going, and you get Kelso involved. You get that running game going. And right there, that drive, perfect of all of it.
All three phases showing up for Southern Virginia on that one. Defensive turnover, march it down the field. Big play from the punter / tight end, Sylvester. And then a good run in by Trey Kelso. Second touchdown of the afternoon for the Knights. PAT is up. And good. There is a flag on the play. We'll see what that's about. But if it stands, it'll be 41 Brevard, 14 Southern Virginia, 4:15 left to go in the third quarter. And SVU hopefully mounting some pressure. All right, so we'll be personal foul roughing the kicker on the side of Brevard. That penalty will be assessed after the kickoff. Like we said before, 4:15 left to go here in the third quarter. 41-14 is the score. Brevard Tornadoes leading after a slick turnover by the Brevard offense. Some good defensive play from Southern Virginia with a big return coming on the left side. Turns it into 7 points with the help of Kelso and Sylvester.
And the key to the eating into a lead is not getting all of the points at once. You can't get a touchdown and then a turnover and then a touchdown and a turnover. It's not how it works. You just got to be the better team from that point out. And since Brevard was up 34-0, it's now 41-17. So SVU has been the better team, especially since Watson has taken the field as quarterback.
Definitely good signs for the rest of this game and for the rest of the season as well. Still only about halfway through this USA South season so far. Southern Virginia yet to get a USA South win this year. Brevard's already picked one up. They knocked off for defending champs Belhaven in their last game at home. Kickoff coming from midfield after that roughing the kicker call. And they will actually play this one. Starts over zone 1, looking for some space. Tripped up right at his own 20. So it looks like the play kept going. They will call it back down at the 20 after the slip. Southern Virginia defense, last time we saw them, big fumble recovery for a return in the offensive side of the field. See what they can do here, but you got to remember, Brevard, before that fumble, 3 big productive plays from their big productive players. Orr goes in motion, Beamish is in the backfield. Beamish to pass, looks up, and that one's incomplete. Couldn't find the hands of his number 88. He was looking for Seth Marshall.
Beamish as a QB has done very well today, very well at managing and keeping his run game involved overall. The one weakness you can see in his game is maybe throwing the ball a little too high, which when throwing to the sidelines is a really good trait because it keeps the ball safe even if the ball's incomplete. So it's really cool watching college of seeing those things of like, yeah, these are still college QBs. They're still learning and getting better and improving. It's really cool to see.
Handoff down the middle. Haven't seen him for a while. Chancellor Lee Parker. His first run in quite some time. Back talking about Ethan Beamish. So far today, before that last incomplete, 10 of 17 for a 191 QBR. Pretty impressive for the young man. 1 interception, 3 touchdowns so far in the game. He has only been sacked 1 time.
Absolutely. And it's not like there haven't been opportunities for him to be sacked. He has kept his head level and made plays out of those opportunities that SVU got pressure on him.
So good movement in and outside of the pocket for Ethan Beamish. He'll line up again. Couples on either side. Chancellor Lee Parker in the backfield. Beamish to pass again. Steps up in the pocket, looks to run, spins past one man, gains a couple yards. In the end, he will have been brought down by Southern Virginia number 93. Number 93, JT Cahoon. So after some confusion, it looks like it will be a foul against the Knights. Will aid to the drive of Brevard.
So it looks like because of the offsides call, instead of 4th and short, they'll have 3rd and short due to the penalty restarting the down.
And that's what it will be, 3rd down and roughly about 3. Beamish in the Tornadoes, 3:16 and winding down. Beamish is joined by Zachary Orr in the backfield. Haven't seen him there too often. There he goes, just as we say, scampering away to the outside where he belongs. Looking, found his man, found some space. Forced outside, complete pass, finding the hands of number 19, Adam Douglas.
And that's where those penalties really hurt you. You had him 4th and 3. You were going to get the ball back on a punt, but instead another set of downs. You got to, those offsides penalties, they're always the worst because they allow for free play opportunities. So SVU in a rough situation there with that.
Seawright coming off for Southern Virginia. Birch coming on. Birch has had some good opportunities at Beamish as well. Having to get a hand on him. Birch with the double team. Beamish in the backfield. Beamish launches it. Has a man, also has pressure. Was looking for Orr. Couldn't find him. And you have to think, if Southern Virginia's number 1, Jamar Robinson, could have turned his head around, maybe a chance to pick that ball off.
Yeah. As it stands, though, an excellent QB hit there. Getting the ball out and inaccurate. So great pressure there from the SVU defense.
.229 left in the 3rd quarter. Brevard seeing what they can do. And a new man taking the snap for Brevard. That's number 17, Elijah Campbell. Beamish not in. Campbell in. He's joined by the typical cast of characters. And there we see Beamish coming in. And Elijah Campbell comes back out. We thought we were going to see the first snap of the day for number 17 sophomore Elijah Campbell from Knoxville, Tennessee. But the veteran Beamish makes his way back in. Hogan in motion. Beamish has it, corrals the snap. Big pass, Beamish. Looks like he's in. Will they say he got both feet down? That he did. Catch inside, fresh set of downs. Cooper Hogan.
Now that is an impressive throw right there. You had the pocket completely collapsing. He was completely surrounded by red jerseys, but pinpoint pass to get the ball right inbounds for Hogan.
So for Hogan today, for that 3 catches, 26 yards, 1 touchdown for the senior from New London, North Carolina. Space is found, knocked out of bounds. Tackle made by Southern Virginia number 27, Callum Hyland. And for Brevard, new carry of the ball, number 29, DJ Henderson. Henderson, sophomore from Covington, Georgia. A long drive so far for Brevard. Southern Virginia brings pressure. Beamish finds a seam. Gain of about 5.
So Brevard just getting anything they want right now on the ground, pushing it forward.
Southern Virginia brought the linebackers in on the blitz, but an excellent push up front from the big men of Brevard.
But the history of this game has shown that SVU is kind of okay with drives like this as long as it doesn't go for 30 into the end zone.
Get a big extra push for the first down. How about that? Brevard number 78. LaRodrick Rucker, junior offensive lineman out of Hartwell, Georgia. Henderson was stopped about 4 yards short. LaRodrick Rucker picked up his own man, carried him for another 6. Fresh set of downs.
That was in opposition to about 3 SVU defenders.
So the carries will go to Henderson, but the carrying of the man goes to Rucker. Pick down of a couple. Going back to that defense you were talking about for Southern Virginia, that's that old bend, don't break kind of defense. You can give up as many yards in the middle of the field as you want to get to that red zone. So you need to force turnovers, need to stop the ball.
Absolutely, and SVU's done that today. It's just been most of the scoring plays have come from outside the red zone. So it's up to SVU on this new opportunity defensively to continue that momentum of that strength that they've shown in the red zone.
You think of bend, don't break defense, you think of big names. Mike Tomlin, head coach for the Steelers, he's been implementing that for years at this point. That's why they've been so successful on that side of the ball. The third quarter has ended, fourth quarter underway. Still 41-14, Southern Virginia trailing the Tornadoes of Brevard. And Brevard with a good offensive position. And Mark, while we have this break in the actions, take a look at the upcoming games for the Southern Virginia Knights. After today's homestand, they'll be 2 games away. One of the defending champs, Belhaven. Then they'll travel to Fayetteville, North Carolina, and take on Methodist before returning home for 2 straight home games since NC Wesleyan and Huntington coming into Buena Vista.
Those will be fun games, especially with these pieces that we've seen from SVU. If they can do what Brevard has done and beat Belhaven, that'll be a huge building block for this team.
Belhaven, to their credit, defending champs from last year, had a slower start to the season than they would have liked of in the 2024 campaign. Beamish back to pass. Beamish under pressure, man trailing him. And finally brought down. The tackle in the end will belong to number 17, Tyreek Talley. So Talley picks it up. Third down, and it'll be third down and about 6. Critical third down for the Southern Virginia Knights.
And this is where their defense has shown all day.
New face in for Southern Virginia, that's Joseph London. He's lined up at nose tackle. Big pass, looking for over the shoulder, got his man. Both feet in, touchdown. Hard to stop that. That's an excellent pass from Beamish.
Yeah, it's hard to stop that, but it's hard to execute that. That's the more impressive part to me, is that that is a difficult play to pull off, because you as a receiver have to be in the right place, and you as the quarterback just have to trust that your receiver is going to be in that spot when you throw it.
Fantastic pass, even better catch. And it extends the lead for the Tornadoes. They lead 47-14. PAT underway. PAT is up. And good, down the middle. That one goes past the net and into the forest.
I always wonder where those footballs go.
You can find them if you go down there. 14-12 left to go here in the fourth quarter. 48-14 is the score. Tornadoes leading. Southern Virginia with a good defensive stand, typically in the red zone there. Just a perfectly executed play on the side of Brevard to extend the lead. So Lackey and Ball back to receive. Kicking off still for Brevard, the familiar face of Nicholas Ackus. Ackus kicks it away. And this will be fielded well rather strangely, and that one goes out of bounds. Looked like it was headed out of bounds on its own accord, but a touch from SVU means not great field position for the upcoming offensive drive.
Yeah, that's the big difference there between staying disciplined on those kickoff rules, because that's a huge benefit if that ball goes out of bounds on its own. But not good there.
So we first down Southern Virginia. Watson still in for his head coach, Joe Dupay. Hall joins Watson in the backfield, and they'll hand it off to Hall. Hall needs to find some space. He's swallowed up. And when you take a look at players like Southern Virginia's Tyreek Hall, one thing that stands out about him, A, he can take a hit, fantastic balance. His speed is otherworldly. In high school, prominent track athlete, one of the top in the state at that point. And we saw that last week against Greensboro. He finds his open space. He has the jets to get past the secondary.
Problem with today has been is he hasn't been able to find those open lanes, or they haven't been there for him. Which is almost where Kelso has done a little bit better, as he's a little bit bigger there.
Watson found a man with some space, just hiding behind the defense, peekaboo style. First down, Southern Virginia.
Defense, wake up!
And that was another impressive play by Watson. You could tell that it was a little bit broken. Like there was nothing there, but he trusted his receiver to be right there for him.
So it's a first down for Southern Virginia. 13 and counting left on the game. Southern Virginia lines up on the ball. Watson's there. Hall's with him. Two receivers on the outside, one of them being Southern Virginia's number 6, Javen Ball. Timeout, Southern Virginia. Their first timeout of the second half. So 12:50 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Brevard a commanding 48-14 lead over top of SVU. And Mark, we took a look ahead at the Southern Virginia remaining schedule, upcoming schedule. Let's take a look on the other side for the Brevard Tornadoes. They return home. They'll face off against Greensboro. That's October 12th, next Saturday, and that'll be their homecoming there in Brevard. And then comes in LaGrange next Saturday, October 19th.
It's really cool having conference football because you get to see all these opponents really soon and really on top of each other. Like we talked about with SVU going up against the defending champs soon in Belhaven. We just saw Brevard play Belhaven. So it's really cool to see you have the opportunity to see how these opponents react to each other and really adapt on the fly.
Definitely exciting time in the USA South. Both teams make their way back onto the field. It will still be Watson, and he'll be joined by Southern Virginia number 42. That's Jay Magruder, freshman from Salisbury, North Carolina. First time we mentioned his name today in today's broadcast. Magruder sent in motion on the left side. Play is called dead.
Number three.
Looks like it will be a false start. False start, number 3 of Southern Virginia. And that'll back that play up. Looks like that'll be on Andrew Cross. Same play, Magruder sent out left. Watson back. Watson, big pass up. Looking for his man. Caught and hauled in.
So it looks like that was number 81, Amonte Pigusi, on the play right there. Incredible play. We've seen SVU under Watson get back a couple with those penalties and have those times, but they've never held them down. They've always had those big plays right in store, and another one right there. Brilliant throw.
And very similarly to the last time they had a big play, right up to the line and fast. This time a handoff in the middle from Magruder, but a big play coming on the catch from 81, a freshman, Greensboro from North Carolina.
And that's the really good thing you want to see from SVU's offense. They use the big passing play, immediately push down the field for a 5-yard gain.
Still going, second and about 5. Block coming in from Magruder, pass from Watson, incomplete, flag on the play. Flag was thrown in the direction of the pass.
Hold. On defense, number 3. 2-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Should be holding on the defense. Automatic first down for Southern Virginia. Pass was intended for number 6, Javen Ball, freshman from Rexburg, Idaho.
And you gotta love, it's just been methodical for SVU. They've had some setbacks, but they get a really good passing play, run it down, put the ball in the vicinity of a penalty. It's all just very methodical and very understanding of what the game is going on.
Definitely something you'd love to see from Southern Virginia, throwing that ball downfield. Something we haven't seen in years past. So Watson so far, 6 of 13, 120.5 QBR. He's thrown for 115 yards, and he's been sacked 1 time. Good movement in the pocket from Watson. That one pass outside. Finds his man finds some space. Completed pass number 87, Kenai Wesley. Wesley picks up a handful. So 11:30 left to go in the fourth quarter. Brevard is leading 48-14. Southern Virginia knocking on the door to the red zone. Hands it off down the middle. Big gain and more. Southern Virginia. Close. They'll mark him down at the 1. But an excellent run in for number 42, Jay Magruder.
And a just methodical gain again. And 4 attempts right here with 1 yard to go. That's exactly what you want from your offense.
Tornadoes bringing pressure. That they do. Magruder is met in the backfield and taken down behind the line. Tornadoes mounted pressure in the A-gaps, and it worked. Loss of 1 on the play. Second down. Andy Hatch comes out for Southern Virginia, and in for him, Henry Audette, junior from Key West, Florida.
SVU's got to go quick. 3 seconds left.
Got the ball off, got the play off. Tried to be pulled down. A little bit of extracurricular activity after the play. No flag down, third down.
That was number 71 for SVU there. Christian Jonas, who was pulling Magruder forward there.
Jonas, the freshman from Twin Falls, Idaho. Forward playing at Twin Falls High School. We see Audette come out, Tucker McCormick come in. Freshman in for the junior. Third down and goal, Southern Virginia. Watson has it, Magruder's beside him. Man in motion, that's McCormick. Pass up, knocked up, and taken down. Interception for the Tornadoes. Number 9, Ernest Smith II.
And right there, the last thing you wanted to see from SVU, but honestly, just a great defensive play. Getting the hand on the ball on the offensive line, popping on the defensive line, popping it up, and you gotta hope you come down with it, and that's what they did.
It was excellent timing from the senior to put his hands up, knock that ball away. Gets the tip and the interception. And that's one of those interceptions that doesn't truly feel like an interception at the end of the day. Goes down as one, goes against the quarterback, but hard to stop it.
Yeah.
So, Tornadoes take back over. 5:15 left to go in the fourth. 41-14. 48-14 is the score. Beamish launches it, wasting no time, or had it right through the hands of the veteran wide receiver.
And a rare miss there. Perfectly placed throw, too.
Tough break for Zachary Orr. But a nice break for the Southern Virginia secondary.
Absolutely. He had room in front of him. Field to run.
Beamish is under center, strong side, left side, fullback in motion. And they'll hand it off. Swallowed up in the backfield. Southern Virginia brings him down. Jamar Robinson will be credited with the tackle. Now bring up third down. See Joseph London back in the game for Southern Virginia. He's joined by Kavika Bringhurst on the left side. We'll try to get some pressure on the quarterback. Three-man rush. Caught, hauled in. Excellent pass. It's good defense on the side of SVU, but Cooper Hogan with the hands.
And that's been the hard problem, is that those third and longs, you're feeling pretty confident, but Brevard keeps pushing it through. They did that in the end zone their previous possession, and they've done it all game, and it's been really backbreaking to the SVU defense.
So 8 minutes left to go here in the fourth quarter. Clock still winding down. Brevard leading 48-14 over top of SVU. Beamish is still inside. Man goes in motion, that's Hogan. Play action pass underway. Beamish launches it, and that one's hauled down. Strong hands. Coming from Brevard, number 8, Ian Castellanos. Ian Castellanos, haven't mentioned his name before today. He's another grad transfer, 6-foot tight end out of Miami, Florida, formerly playing at Monmouth.
And he had to use every inch of that height to pluck that ball out of the sky right there.
Second down and 2. Beamish in the pistol. Running back behind him, fullback to his left. A little bit of a halfback draw wasn't there. Flag on the play. Flag came way after the end of the play, and it looked to be unnecessary roughness on the side of the Knights. Stripes meet in the middle. See what the call is.
After the play, personal foul, number 1 of the defense.
Be a personal foul against Southern Virginia. Number 1, Jamar Robinson. And Robinson just got caught pushing a little bit too much after the play. And with that foul, a fresh set of downs. Beamish in the backfield. He is joined by Tristan Wynn. Beamish back to pass. Southern Virginia pressure coming in. Sack! SVU.
So it's number 5, Talon Birch, the freshman out of West Jordan, Utah, right there with the sack. A huge play.
Birch has been knocking on the door all game today with the pressure. Finally got his hands on Beamish and picks up a sack in the end of it as well. Brings up second down and long. 6:30 left to go in the fourth quarter. Birch is still out there. Seawright down there with him as well. Handoff to Wynn. Wynn found some space. Still be third down and about 11.
Number 0, pushing in with the carry, down at 49-yard line.
It's a key play here. This is where Brevard's been at their best all day. 3rd and long.
So 3rd down and 11. Beamish in the shotgun. 2 wide receivers and a tight end to his left. They'll hand it off to Wynn. Wynn is dragged down, but the ball is out, and it looks like Southern Virginia has recovered. And that they do.
And it looks like that was number 1, Jamar Robinson, getting his redemption there.
Robinson with the personal foul at the end of the play that gave the Tornadoes a first down. Robinson stripping the ball away from Wynn. Southern Virginia takes over. 5:32 left to go here in the 4th. Southern Virginia trails 14-48 with a good defensive stand and turnover forced by the Southern Virginia defense. And though the score stands the way it does stand, Southern Virginia, an interception so far today, 2 forced fumbles that they've picked up and turned around.
That's what they've been doing, and they've been their strengths.
Pass by Watson out to Hall. Hall looking for space. Had a good block on the outside. Gain of about 1.
SVU's defense has really been setting up the offense well, getting those big plays and big turnovers.
Just over 5 minutes left to go here in the 4th. 2nd down and 9 for the Knights. Watson, play action pass. Watson looks up, found his man in the middle of the field, big hit, but he caught it and held on. Shaken up on the end of the play was the receiver. Receiver number 12, Taylor Carden. Big hit in the middle of the field, but a first down nonetheless from the freshman from Idaho.
That takes a ton of skill and practice to hold on to that ball in that situation. That is an incredible play.
Just off your screen, Carden is feeling it on the sideline, getting checked out by the medical staff. Watson in the backfield, Magruder next to him on the left side. Big pass. That ball's out. They'll say it's a fumble, and it'll belong to Brevard. At the end of the play, they'll finally call it incomplete, as it looked to be.
So lucky break there by SVU.
Pass was intended for look like number 3, MJ Laws. And Laws couldn't bring it in. There was some confusion whether or not it was a fumble. It will be an incomplete pass. Bring up 2nd down for the Knights. Watson back to pass. Pressure comes in. Movement in the pocket from Watson. He takes off, picks up a handful.
And Watson has done tremendously on the broken plays. On the plays where he is getting pressured, he's getting the ball out, or he's getting himself out in just stupendous fashion.
Good in the pocket movement from Watson. Saves Southern Virginia a sack and picks up a couple of yards. 3rd down and 4. 2 wide receivers on the right side, one out here to the left. That's number 87, lined up one-on-one. Kenai Wesley, they'll bring another man over to take a look at him. Watson Big pass in. He finds Sylvester, and Sylvester finds some space. Big moves from the big man, Sylvester. Touchdown.
Incredible play right there. Sylvester has done that all game where he just cannot be taken down. He gets himself big gains right there, breaking several tackles. And a great downfield block right there. I don't know which wide receiver was doing it, but a great downfield block there that keyed that play.
And that block came in from number 87, Kenai Wesley. So Alex Sylvester and Kenai Wesley team up for a Southern Virginia touchdown. Kick is up and good. Sylvester's touchdown will stand. How about Alex Sylvester, freshman from Houston, Texas, formerly playing at Klein High School. A couple of big possessions, big catches for the young freshman.
Absolutely. He's been the main driving force in this second half for the SVU offense. He's gotten big plays going into the end zone. Seems to be the 40-yard line is about his preferred line of scrimmage there.
We talk about the multifaceted abilities of Sylvester. He's punted earlier today. He threw a pass last week for a completion. He's caught a touchdown in this game before he made his way to Buena Vista, made state for pole vault and triple jump.
Wow.
So after that Southern Virginia score, it is 48-21, 3:19 left to go here in the fourth. And we'll see Southern Virginia kick on. Kicking off for the Knights. Looks to be number 36, Eli Chappell. Eli Chappell listed as a running back. He is still a freshman from Leesburg, Virginia. Due to some space on the outside. It was a good return in the end of it. So Tornadoes will start on offense. It still will be Beamish out for the Tornadoes. He's joined by the typical cast of characters. Zachary Orr still in the game. Two tight end set, one on either side. Beamish hands it off. Big run up the middle, gain of about 8 for Chancellor Lee Parker. And with that rush, Chancellor Lee Parker, 10 attempts, 115 so far on the day with a touchdown. Strong side, right side, Beamish under center. Fullback in motion. Big block by the fullback. Gain of about 2, but an excellent block there on the strong side by Tornadoes number 27, Blake Shepard.
And if you're Brevard, you gotta like what you see from this offense. Not just that it's good at passing and good at rushing, that it's good at all the facets, but also that your rushing is a two-headed attack. That's always, running back by committee is almost always the most effective because it allows your running backs to get rest and build off each other in the run game. Both Lee Parker and Deaton today with almost 100 yards. Like you said, 115 for Lee Parker and 97 for Deaton. So just an incredible display on the ground from the two backs.
Incredible outing from those two, and not to mention Zachary Orr, 10 yards through the air so far today. They have found a way to be successful on every side of the offense. Beamish so far today, 14 of 23. 1 interception, still 3 touchdowns. We heard Coach Dupay on the sideline telling his team to play the next play. 2 minutes left, 48-21 is the score. Southern Virginia trails in this one. Definitely some bright spots so far for the Southern Virginia offense and defense, especially against a team that is touted to be one of the best in the USA South. Big run coming up the middle. Picks up first down and about a yard or so more. And that was number 29, DJ Henderson. First down and 10. Four lines up on the left side. A couple tight ends on the right side. Big handoff on the right side as well. Picks up about 2. Scratch that. Picks up about 4. Good run on the middle by Henderson.
And again, continuing, you got to credit the offensive line. As good as your two main backs are, you're getting your lower down the depth chart guys coming in and still just pushing the ball forward, getting the clock down, doing exactly what you want here at the end of the game.
And it looks like that is what Brevard will aim to do, to run that clock to 0. Flag on the end of the play. We'll see who that's against. Either way, it stops the clock at 51 seconds. 51 seconds left to go here in the fourth quarter. 48-21 is the score. Brevard leading. So it'll be a 10-yard penalty against the Tornadoes. Holding call on the end of that one. Told us number 80. That's a holding call against Will Marshall. So Will Marshall picks up the holding call. Still be 51 seconds left to go here inside this game. But make it 2nd and 12. Looks like Brevard just going to run this clock out. Play action pass. Color me surprised. Big pass from Beamish. Didn't expect that. Neither did the Southern Virginia defense. Touchdown, Brevard.
Well, and you may look at that and be like, why are they throwing it so late in the game? But the clock ain't over until it hits zeros, and they still got a lot of season left to go. They still got plays left to practice, and those play action plays deep down, it is so hard to throw the ball like that deep in the end zone. So they're trying to get game reps for their QB, so further in. That's why you've seen Beamish stay in the game this whole time, is because they're trying to get him keeping going for the entire season and get him reps and get this offense focused on what they need to do for the rest of the season.
Well, that is an excellent point, and that pass caught everyone by surprise, including some of the Brevard fans sitting in front of us. But nevertheless, tack another touchdown on the board for Beamish. That's 4 touchdowns for him today. And another extra point good. So, score change. 55-21 is the score. 37 seconds left to go here for Southern Virginia. Brevard has done an excellent job of utilizing the passing game, the running game, and the play-action game, as we saw back there. But for the Southern Virginia squad, plenty of bright spots. 3 turnovers for the young defense. We saw some excellent offensive productivity coming in from Devin Watson as well. Yeah, it's in this, since that time where it was 34-0, SVU has matched Brevard 21-21, which you like to see from SVU matching a very talented Brevard squad that is keeping their starters out for that purpose that we talked about earlier. So very well done by SVU, especially from Watson. You really like the balance you see from Watson's offense with a passing touchdown, a rushing touchdown from Watson, and a rushing touchdown from Kelso. Southern Virginia has found success on spreading the ball around. Brevard kicks it off. And this will be fielded with an attempt. Some space being found, needs to break another tackle. Big hit. Tackle was made by Chancellor Lee Parker. Talk about another guy who's doing it all today. He doesn't make that tackle. That could be a much bigger gain there on the return. So the big running back stops the Southern Virginia return at roughly about the 29. 30 seconds left to go. Knights 21, Tornadoes 55. Knights will hand it up off the middle. Big run up the middle as well. A gain of about 13. That's Magruder. And not what you want to see this late in the game with only 23 seconds left to go. There is a Knight down on the field. And from the looks of it, it looks to be number 55, Bryce Lampert, senior from Haymarket, Virginia. And that is definitely not the note you want to leave with after this game. Excellent sights. Makes his way back up to his feet, and that was Southern Virginia number 55, Bryce Lampert, senior offensive lineman. He's being helped off the field. It's great to see him get back up. Southern Virginia offense marches back out. 23 seconds left to go. First down. We'll see what Southern Virginia elects to do with their last few remaining snaps of the evening. So it looks like Southern Virginia will just let the clock run out on that one. Head coach Dupay having a word over with Brevard head coach Bill Kayat. And they'll win that one there. So the final score is Brevard Tornadoes 55, Southern Virginia Knights 21. Good showing by both teams. Saw a lot of offensive defensive prowess coming from Brevard. And a lot of bright spots for this young Southern Virginia squad as well.
Absolutely. You love seeing the young leaders starting to emerge. Especially on the defensive end, you had C.J. Williams, who now has 2 straight games with an interception. Defensively, you had a couple sacks that were really good and tons of pressure, especially coming from number 5, Talon Burge, the freshman from West Jordan, Utah. So a lot of good stars kind of emerging on that defensive end. And then obviously on offense, you had Devin Watson coming in and really changing the flow of the SVU offense. Last week, you had Tyreek Hall being the one carrying the offense. This week, you had Devin Watson. The key for SVU from here on out is finding a way to merge those two, to get those two offenses to work in tandem and be very powerful in that attack.
Well, head coach Dupay will definitely have a tough act ahead of him as he looks to get those puzzle pieces fitting. We'll see Southern Virginia next, the 2 games away. Once at Belhaven, that's next Saturday, October 12th. They'll follow it up with a game in Fayetteville as they face off against Methodist. Southern Virginia doesn't return home until October 26th. Will face off against North Carolina Wesleyan. They'll round out at November 9th against Huntington here in Buena Vista. So final score stands, Brevard 55, Southern Virginia 21. Thank you all for joining us here in Buena Vista. On behalf of everyone here at Southern Virginia, I'm Chris Fly saying goodbye for myself and Mark Duffin. Everyone, have a good night.